Hello, this is Jason P. Wilson Zero in X-Force, and this is my DC and Marvel pull list for the week of July 27th, 2011, and today's late in the week. It is the 31st, and it is a Sunday. And first up here are my DCs. I only have two this week. I know it seems like lately I've been having a lot less DC books than Marvel, and it kind of has been the case lately. I've been shuffling, and that will be changing drastically very soon. I'm canceling a bunch of Marvel. I'm adding a bunch of DC with the whole new 52 launching, and I added a couple new Image. So you're going to be seeing a lot more DC, some more Image, and a lot less Marvel. Though, even though I cut back on a lot of my Marvel books, I added a couple new ones. Okay, so first up here is Batman Detective Comics number 880, and I believe this is second to last before the end and before the relaunching of Detective. Okay, first up, brilliant cover. Look at this cover. This is the Joker. This is Scott Snyder. This is Jock. This is brilliant. I have loved this team together, and I'm gonna, even though I'm glad Scott's going to be writing Batman, and I'm not even sure where Jock is going, but I'm really going to miss them together. They're like two puzzle pieces that shine brilliantly individually, but when you put them together, they do true master work. Their runs on Detective Comics have been the best I have read from Detective. The only two truly masterworks Detective has produced that I have read would be the Batwoman runs. Those were masterworks. Highest ratings. Must reads. Definitely pick up all the Batwomans. I think there's only one. I think it's a hardback. It might be on softback. I've only seen a hardback and I picked it up. Brilliant. Must read. If you don't pick up these singles of Detectives, definitely when you see these runs out, I believe one is out already, the first one, Black Mirror, pick them up. They're must reads. They're brilliant. It's Detective Comics written and drawn the way that it always should have been. Absolutely great work. Love this team together, and you can tell by this cover when I'm talking about the type of feel. This is what's inside the book. Jock does the covers and the artwork, and it fits perfectly with the dark and detective mystery type feel that Scott Snyder has brought back to the Batman Detective Comics. Absolutely love this. I can't say enough good things about it. Now, from one extreme to the other, this is a kid book I pick up. Now, it's not because I have kids, though I do have nephews and nieces, or niece and nephews. But I picked this up for myself. I watch Young Justice. I like it. It's very good. And this is like in between stories that happen in between episodes. It's very, quick read. It's nothing to really recommend to adults, though I would highly recommend this to any adult who has kids or anyone who watches the animated series. And that is all of my DCs. I know, surprising. But up with my Marvel. Okay. Amazing Spider-Man 666. I had dropped this. I had mentioned this many times before, but with this issue, I added it back to my saver. I was not going to be picking up anything with Spider Island. I even canceled Venom, which I was liking, but I knew it was tying to Spider Island, and I didn't want to go through all that. So I canceled that as well. And then I focused on, okay, well, X-Men Schism will be the only one that I pick up, though I wish I picked up Flashpoint. That one I wish I picked up on singles. But I didn't, and I'm picking up X-Men Schism, which I'm really glad it's done right. It's been the way I think all events should be. So that it's X-Men Schism is the main series, and then it connects to one comic, which is Generation Hope, but only 2 issues. So I don't even know if you even... I get those anyway, so I'm going to read those, but I don't even know if you need to get those. Unfortunately, with Spider Island, when I looked at the checklist at the back of the book, there is a ton you have to read. So many books I didn't even think would be connected with Spider-Man. Yes, Venom. Yes, FF. Yes, Spider-Girl, which I thought was ended, by the way. But all these other comics, you wouldn't even imagine connecting with Spider Island. I'm not playing that game. Though, I did add, with this issue, I added Amazing Spider-Man back on my saver. So why? I'll tell you why. I jumped on Spider-Man with Big Time. I was always a Spider-Man fan, read mostly Ultimate Spider-Man. But when Big Time came out, I really liked the art, so I thought, I'm going to start reading Amazing Spider-Man again. And I loved it. I loved Big Time Spider-Man. Really did. And when that ended, I stayed on the book, and it was still good, but it wasn't as good. And I stayed on for as long as I could, even though it was still really well written, and the artwork, went back and forth depending on who did it. I still missed that Big Time Spider-Man. So when I opened this up, it was Big Time Spider-Man. Like, the artwork is the same artist. I have to check, but I'm pretty sure this is the exact same team that did Big Time Spider-Man. Because when I opened this book, it felt, and when I read the first few pages, it just felt like Big Time Spider-Man that I really loved. So that's all I needed for me to throw back on my saver. So for good or for bad, I'm in with Spider Island. Though I am not picking up any of the other issues. I will maybe pick up the trades later, but I am only picking up Amazing Spider-Man, and I really hope that I even canceled, like I said, Venom. So I really hope that I can read Amazing Spider-Man, Spider Island, and get the full or main story of what's going on. That's all. If they do that, I'll be happy. But if I'm picking up an issue and all of a sudden the story is somewhere else and I'm supposed to have to go hunt down these other issues, I will not be happy, and I will not finish it. But for now, I'm really excited, and I hope it's going to be as good as Big Time was. Alright. Next up is Captain America and Bucky, number 620. Okay, let me make this clear. It's a little confusing for people that aren't reading Captain America. So, I started on Captain America with the .1 issue. I always liked Cap. I loved him always, but I never really read his comics. So when the .1 issue came along, I picked it up. And I liked it, and I stuck with it. And even though I eventually dropped it from my saver, I kept on picking it up, just like with Avengers and Amazing Spider-Man. So then I heard that they were relaunching. So I didn't worry about adding it, even though I was still reading it. I just figure I'll add Captain America when it relaunches on my saver. Now, when they relaunched, they actually split it into 2. So you have Captain America number 1, and you have Captain America and Bucky number 620. As confusing as this is, you would figure, okay, Captain America and Bucky would be the new comic, and Captain America would be the continuation. No. Captain America, which I reviewed, where I showed already, that's the new comic, Captain America number 1. It's great. It's really well written, and the artwork is fantastic. It's a great Captain America comic, and I recommend anyone to pick that up that wants to start reading Cap. This is this is a continuation of the main Captain America series. It has changed the titles to Captain America and Bucky, but they kept the continuity and they kept the numbering. So this is, even though this is Captain America and Bucky number 1, it's numbered Captain America and Bucky number 620. A little confusing, yes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read both these books. I'm going to read both these books, first story arcs, and then I'm going to choose which I'm keeping. I don't think I'll be keeping both, but I will definitely be keeping one, whichever one I believe is the best. So far, it's really tied. Like I mentioned, I love the number 1 Captain America issue. and I was wondering how this was going to compete with that. But this is a whole, like apples and oranges. This was really good too in its own right, and I really like reading about past stories of Captain America and Bucky, like in their golden age. So I love this issue, and plus you get a little bit of connection with the whole death of Bucky thing, which no one else had touched. So that was nice. So I'm going to do a review probably on both the first runs of these issues, and then make a decision. But liked it, enjoyed it. Next up is another great run, and that is Incredible Hulks, and this is 633, Part 4 of Heart of the Monster, the last story arc before the end of this comic. It's been great. It's been one of the best runs ever on Incredible Hulk, done by the master himself, Greg Pax, and Greg Pax, not Pax. And I will not say too much about this because I'm going to do a full review on Greg Pax's next run on this book. Been loving it. Artwork's fantastic. Alright, next up is a comic that, I don't know, it felt like it took a while for it to come out. Obviously, this is one of my favorite titles because anyone that knows me knows X-Force is really it for me. And it will always be one of the few more Marvel titles that I will consistently pick up. This is Uncanny X-Force, number 12, and this is the Dark Angel Saga, chapter 2. Great cover here. I won't talk too much about it. I don't want to do any spoilers, but I wasn't sure about the whole Dark Angel Saga, even though I'm a big, X-Force fan, and Angel is a big part of that team, always has been, well, since it was reinvented here with Yost. But even though I really like the whole Archangel, thing, and I do like how Angel's been, written, he's never really been one of my favorite characters. So whenever they have an arc, or this is a big arc, connected just with that character being the main focus, I'm sure I would like it, but I wasn't sure how much. So far, I've been very impressed. Now, because of the writer here also writing Venom, that's why I picked up Venom. And I have to say, I love him writing Venom, but I did end up canceling the book. Too many things to focus on. Too many different books out there that are really great, so I got to make my choices. And this has been great. He's definitely still doing his best work on this book. Alright, next up is Ultimate Fallout, Spiderman No More, issue number 3. Now, what I've read, it's 4 issues. This has been great. First one, issue 1, concentrated on Peter Parker and his funeral. Second one, concentrated on what else is going on in the Ultimate Universe. A lot going on with the Ultimates. This one is concentrating on multiple things, including what's going on with, with Nick Fury and all that, and the Hulk there at the end. But I also had to do a lot with Kitty Pryde and Bobby and the younger X-Men and what they're going to be doing and how they're affected. There's really a lot going on in this book. So this is, of course, a 4-part miniseries, and I will do a review on it when it's done. But if you want to pick up the new Ultimates that are coming out, you have to pick these up. Alright, next up is X-Men Schism number 2, 2 of 5. Great cover, my second favorite cover of the week. And, it's just as good, in fact, maybe a little bit better than the first issue. I've been really impressed so far with the writing, with the artwork, with the covers, with the quality of the pages. The quality of the paper is definitely a step up than a lot of the others I think Flashpoint's paperwork has been really nice. I've been noticing that, even though I'm not picking them up. I do check them out in the comic store. And but Fear itself has been your normal Marvel thin paper, but they've been putting the nicer paper in with the X-Men Schism, and for some reason, for me anyway, it really makes the colors pop better, and I really like that. So great cover and great #2 issue. Again, I will be reviewing this when it's over as well. So 3 more issues to go, and they're popping them out pretty darn quick. I'm curious if they're going to be this fast for the whole series. Yes, definitely one to be picking up. Alright, and last year is a Marvel Limited Run. This will only appeal probably to people that follow Halo or are interested in science fiction. This is Halo Reach #2 of 4. I'm actually reading this with my nephew, and he has issue #1. So I told him, we both liked it a lot. So I told him that I would pick up the rest of the issues for him. Now I actually thought by this time that I would maybe be on book 4 already, but issue 2 just now came out. So I don't know if it's really going to take this long for the whole series or not, but it's been really good. It's a 17 and up book because it has mature themes, but it's done very tastefully. It's done, I don't know if anyone's read any of the sci-fi Halo books, but it's very much that type of storytelling, that type of pacing. So the 17 and up rating isn't for anything except for the you have to be mature to understand what you're reading and to take it in context. A really good first issue, really strong. Second issue is even better. If you're Halo fans, definitely pick this up. If you're a science fiction fan, definitely pick these up. Now, if you don't want to pick up the singles, that's fine, but these come out in trades as well. They're definitely worth to pick up for your science fiction collection. And with that said, that's all I have for this week. I am very interested in what you guys think, if you guys are reading these books, and if you are, what do you think of them? Also, I've heard back from a few people, but I want to know what new DC 52 books you guys are picking up. I wish I could pick them all up, but I'm not going to. I'm really making my selection. I keep on shifting back and forth. I haven't read Green Lantern too much before. I thought this might be a great jumping on point, but I wasn't sure if I should be picking up all 4 of the new books, or if I could get away with only picking up a couple, and if I can, which ones. So really, let me know what new DC titles you're going to be picking up with the new launch. And with that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.